The house was silent, yet heavy with words left unsaid. Maya sat by the window, staring at the rain. It used to be her favorite weather. Now it just reminded her of everything that had changed. Rayan entered the room quietly, holding 2 cups of coffee. "You still like it black, right?" he asked softly. She didn't look at him. "I used to," she replied. There was a long pause. They used to talk about everything: dreams, plans, the future. Now even a simple sentence felt like a storm. Rayan sat across from her. "Maya, I'm sorry. I don't know when we became strangers." Tears rolled down her cheeks. "You stopped trying, Rayan. You stopped listening. I begged you to fight for us, but you chose your work, your pride, everything else. Except me." He lowered his eyes. "I thought I was doing it for us." She shook her head. "No. You were doing it for you." The rain outside grew louder, almost as if the sky was crying with them. Finally, she stood up, walking toward the door with her suitcase. "Maya, please, don't go." She turned around, eyes filled with pain and quiet strength. "I already did, Rayan, long before today." As the door closed, Rayan stood there, holding her coffee cup, untouched, getting colder every second. And that's when he realized, sometimes love doesn't end with a fight. It ends in silence. 5 years had passed. Time had softened some wounds, but Rayan's heart still carried the weight of that goodbye. He had everything: a successful career, a new apartment overlooking the city skyline, but it all felt hollow. Every sunset reminded him of the warmth in Maya's laughter, the way she used to lean on his shoulder during long drives, the quiet way she loved. One evening, as he walked into a small cafe he used to visit with her, his breath caught. There she was, Maya, sitting by the window, a book in her hand, looking calm, graceful, different, yet painfully familiar. He froze for a moment before gathering the courage to approach. "Maya." She looked up, startled. Her lips parted slightly, but no words came out. "Rayan." She finally whispered his name, the sound trembling with years of buried emotions. They sat together. The silence between them wasn't awkward. It was full of memories. He smiled faintly. "You look happy." She returned a small smile. "I am trying to be." "I never stopped thinking about you," he confessed. Her eyes softened. "I know. I didn't either. But I had to learn how to live without you." Rayan swallowed hard. "I thought time would heal it, but it didn't." Maya nodded slowly. "That's because we weren't broken, Rayan. We just forgot how to hold on." A long pause followed. Rain began to fall outside, just like the day she left. Rayan reached across the table, his hand trembling. "Maybe we could start again." Maya smiled sadly, pulling her hand back. "I loved you once with everything I had," she said softly. "But I can't go back to who I was. I found peace in the pieces you left behind." He watched her stand up, her umbrella opening as she stepped into the rain once more, walking away just like before. This time, he didn't chase her. He simply whispered to himself, "Goodbye, Maya," knowing it was truly the end. I don't know if you'll ever read this. Maybe you've moved on. Maybe you're married now. Maybe you've forgotten the sound of my voice. That's okay. This isn't a letter to bring you back. It's a letter to thank you. Thank you for teaching me what love feels like, and what losing it can do to a person. Thank you for being my home when the world felt cold. And thank you for leaving, because your absence forced me to grow. I spent years blaming myself for everything that went wrong. Maybe I worked too much. Maybe I listened too little. But I've learned something, Maya. Love isn't about holding on. It's about letting go when you must, and still wishing the other person happiness. Wherever you are, I hope someone brings you coffee the way you like it, with a smile and no questions asked. I hope you laugh at sunsets and dance in the rain. And if you ever think of me, I hope it doesn't hurt anymore. I'll always be grateful that our paths crossed, even if they didn't last forever. With love, Rayon. 7 years had passed since Maya last saw Rayon. Life had taken her places she never imagined. A new city, a stable job, quiet evenings filled with music and tea. Yet every now and then, she'd find herself staring at the rain, wondering if he ever found peace. One day, while visiting her old hometown, she stopped by the small bookstore she and Rayon used to love. The owner, an elderly man who still remembered her smile, greeted her warmly. "Maya, it's been so long," he said. "I think I have something for you." He walked behind the counter and returned with an old book, its cover slightly faded, but still familiar. It was her gift to Rayon, the one she gave him on their first anniversary. A note slipped out as she opened it, an envelope yellowed with age. Her heart skipped. On it, written in his handwriting, were 2 words: "For Maya." Hands trembling, she opened it and began to read. Each line hit her like a wave. His regrets, his gratitude, his quiet love. By the time she finished, her tears had soaked the paper. For years she had blamed herself too, thinking maybe if she had